Welcome to Jackie's Craft Table. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. We're going to be creating some Christmas cards today in this video, as well as one fall-time card using some beautiful products from Spellbinders. First, I wanted to show you their brand new Tool-in-One. It's new and improved. I have their old one and love it, but this one matches the colors of their platinum die cutting machine. I also have October's small die of the month kit here. Let me open these up and show you what they include. This one is just fabulous. If you want to make some fall time cards, this is a beautiful set. You get 3 sentiments. They say grateful, thankful, and blessed, as well as these cute little mini leaves and a corner decorative piece. I'll be showing you a card with this at the very end. I had a lot of fun playing with this set. I'm going to put these away. I like the Spellbinders magnet, shaped like a diamond, and I can just put this set on the end of my desk and know that I'm not going to be losing any of the small pieces. This is the card kit of the month for October, and it's called Dancing Santa. This kit is fabulous if you want to get started on your Christmas card crafting. So let's see what's inside. You always get your adhesive and your envelopes and card bases. You get this darling stamp set. I love all of the sentiments in this one. A lot of these are perfect to stamp on the insides of your cards as well. Here is your set of die cut shapes. You get so many of those. You get a set of chipboard stickers, double-sided. You get a lot of stickers in this one. Here's some cute little puffy stickers. I love those peppermints. And even more stickers. These are sentiment puffy stickers. Here is a little pack of metallic red sequins. I'll pour this out and give you a closer look. I like this pack because it has 2 sizes this time. Look how sparkly and pretty those are. Here are the dies. And I always love their pattern paper. Then you get a lot of cardstock as well. Let me flip through these for you and show you all of the different colors. You also get a piece of gold metallic cardstock. Now let's get into the card crafting. For card number 1, I'm going to be doing a collage card. And on most of the cards this time, I'm going to be layering up a lot of the different cardstocks and pattern paper. So I'm putting a piece of pattern paper down first. I like to make it a little bit smaller than my card base, so I get a nice white mat around my card. I'll layer on a piece of the light pink cardstock. I pulled a bunch of die cut shapes from the pack. I love these little banners, and I'm going to layer these together. You could use the double-sided adhesive, of course, from the kit, but for the sake of time, I'm just using my dot liner. This sentiment is also a die-cut shape. It just says joy. I'll pop this up with some foam adhesive. Many of the die-cut shapes have beautiful foiling on them, like this one. This adds a touch of sparkle to your cards. It's so much fun. I'm going to add even another sentiment. This one says twinkle. I'll just put that across the banners too. And now for a string of Christmas lights. Let's glue those down flat. And then I loved the little Christmas trees. I'm going to put down a trio of these trees. I love starting my holiday card crafting early. That way I can make sure I have enough to send a unique card to all my family and friends. Now for the next tree. I thought about popping these up with foam tape, but they're so narrow and delicate. I thought I'd just take it easy on myself and glue it down flat. The die cut shapes do come with 2 of each shape, so I suppose you could glue 2 of them together to make it a little more sturdy. I'm picking out the smallest of the red sequins to add to this tree, like little Christmas baubles. And I debated again whether to put on all of them, but I didn't want to overcomplicate the card. I added some glitter pen over the string of Christmas lights, and here is the card all complete. Okay, now that I'm all warmed up, let's jump into card number 2. Sometimes I can get overwhelmed with all of the stuff they pack in these kits. I just don't know where to start. So I tried to keep my first card pretty simple and just use pattern paper and their die-cut shapes. For card number 2, I'm going to use this beautiful big sentiment that says merry and bright. And I like that they have everything separate, the merry and the bright, all separate. And I'm going to stamp it with black ink onto this piece of blue cardstock. I had to stamp it up a few times, get a nice dark impression. I'm using another piece of pattern paper first. I loved this blue snowflake pattern paper. This is going to cover my card base completely. And I'm also going to use this piece of black cardstock as a very thin mat behind my blue cardstock. I'm trying to use up all of the cardstock this time. I always have lots of leftovers, and I just like to use things up. I'll center that onto the black cardstock. For this card, I'm also going to use a lot of the die-cut shapes, and I already pre-selected what I'm going to be using. The die-cut shapes this time were just exceptional. Every single image was just so cute. I only made 6 cards with this card kit, but I'm going to go back and make a lot more. I love this little lamp post image, and I'm going to attach that down flat first. This is going to be a little snowman card. The snowman I popped up with more of the foam adhesive. Then I'm going to add 3 of these little presents next to him. 2 of them I'm going to glue down flat. And then the third one I am going to add a little bit of foam adhesive behind that and pop it up. These little scenes are so much fun to build. Possibilities are just endless. I like to add just a little bit of dimension to my cards. And next I'm going to add a little candy cane in his hand. Shift it there so it's not poking him in the eye. And I found this cute little snowflake to fit just right next to the snowman and under the sentiment. I pulled out some clear stickles just to add a little bit of sparkle to the snowflake. I'm also going to add some to the bow on the front present. I like Christmas cards to have at least a little bit of sparkle, if not a lot. And I'll add it to the brim of his hat. And here is a close-up of this card. I love how this one turned out. On card number 3, I picked out some cute Christmas baubles from the die-cut shapes. And I'm going to put foam adhesive behind all 3 of them. I like to use the little squares first. I'm just using the all-in-one tool to poke those out. Otherwise, I have a hard time grabbing them. After I use all of the squares, then I cut up the foam tape and even use the negative space. So I'm putting down little dots where the baubles need to go with a white gel pen. And then I know where to draw my string line. Just using a ruler to make sure I get the lines straight. You could use twine or thread or whatever you have, but this is a really fast way to add string, or actually faux string, to your baubles. And then I can just attach these over the strings. And the white gel pen really pops off of the red cardstock. Okay, I'll speed this along. I think you get the general idea. I cut out a piece of the gold cardstock to put along the edge of this Christmas card. I like that they always include a piece of metallic cardstock in their kits. I also cut down a piece of pattern paper that has coordinating Christmas baubles on it. I love how well coordinated these kits are. And I'm just going to attach that over the gold paper. This will give me a nice gold lining. along my pattern paper. Then I'll just pull out my long sharp scissors and cut off the overhang. You could, of course, pre-cut these papers so they fit your card panel perfectly, but I find it easier just to trim off the excess. Now I'm going to attach this to my card base. I'm going to have a little bit of a white matting around it. And then I really liked this sentiment from the die cut shapes. It's so pretty, and it has gold foiling along the edge. It just says Merry Christmas. I'm going to pop this up with some foam adhesive. And then it just fits perfectly at the bottom right of this card. So cute. And now for a few red sequins, just to finish off the card and add a little more sparkle to it. I'm using all of the big sizes for this one. I always like to use an odd number. And here is the finished card. I always try to put a little something on the insides as well. You get so many die cut shapes that it's very easy to do. And now for card number 4, I'm going to make a little mini shaker card using this wreath die cut shape. I'm just gluing it down to a piece of acetate. I'm going to put an acrylic block on top of that and allow it to dry for a little bit. And in the meantime, I'll start attaching my cardstock to my card base. I'm not using any pattern paper this time, just the cardstock that came in the kit. I'm trying to match my cardstock to the die cut shapes that I chose. Okay, I think the glue is dry now on my little wreath. I'm going to carefully cut around the edge of the wreath. Just trying to get my scissors in between the acetate and the die cut shape so that you won't see any of the acetate poking out from behind it. The acetate has backing on it, if you're wondering why it looks like that. It just helps me to see the acetate better, and now I can just pull it off. There's the cute little window. I'm going to use some very narrow foam adhesive to put behind this window. I'll pull off the backing first. That makes it a little easier to manipulate around this circle. I'm only going to use one layer, but you could, of course, use 2 layers of the foam adhesive. This will allow your pieces to shake around better. But this is such a small shaker card that I didn't think it would make much of a difference. I just wanted to have something sparkly on the inside of this little wreath. I'm adding one more little piece to it. It just wasn't quite long enough. Now to add the sequins. I'm very carefully trying to pour them into the middle of this wreath without getting any on the foam adhesive. Just going to put the strays back inside. I'll seal the shaker card closed with a piece of white scratch paper. And then I'm going to very carefully cut this out as well, just kind of going behind the wreath so that none of the white shows through the edges or around the edges. There it is. Isn't that cute? This is kind of a fun scene. I'm going to use this little elf die cut shape. He's holding a present, but I'm going to put this wreath over the present so that it looks like he's holding up the wreath with the help of this cute little penguin. A little bit of liquid adhesive behind the wreath and glue that down. Now for the penguin, and he's going to hold up the other side with the help of this box that he's standing on. And I changed my mind on the present die cut shape. There are several in the kit, but I glue this one down, but I do change it out later. I loved these little scallop die cut shapes, and I'm going to put one at the bottom of this card to tuck it under the elf's feet. I trimmed off the end of that. Next, for my sentiments, I'm going to put 2 on this card. This one says "Deck the Halls," and the one by the penguin says "Let it snow." There you see the present that I glued over the bottom one. Such cute die-cut shapes in this card. Okay, we're up to card number 5, and I just had to use these red poinsettias. I'm going to use a piece of the darker green cardstock and attach it to my card. And then I really love this piece of pattern paper. It has little red and gold sparkles all over it. I cut that down a little bit smaller than the green cardstock. I thought this would be the perfect backing for poinsettias. All of the poinsettias I'm going to pop up with foam adhesive. And I'm just going to make a band of flowers across this card. I'm going to use the mistletoe die-cut shapes as leaves for these flowers. Gently peel up the foam adhesive and tuck that behind. I love that they have all of these different sizes of the flowers. It makes for a really cute Christmas arrangement. Now for more of the leaves behind this flower. The smaller flowers I'm using, again, foam adhesive as well as a little bit of glue so that they'll attach to the flowers. For the sentiment, I'm going to pull out these chipboard stickers. These are just such cute chipboard stickers. But I'm going to use the little circle ones and put them in the centers of the flowers. These say joy, jolly, and merry. I usually like to add a little bit of liquid adhesive behind the chipboard stickers, but I forgot this time. They seem to hold onto it just fine. I added a few more red sequins around this panel, and here is the finished product. On card number 6, I'm using the small die of the Month Club kit for October. This all-in-one tool really came in handy with these dies. I'm just showing you how easy it is to put the tools in and switch them out. This tool was invaluable at helping me pop the paper out of these dies. The word dies are so beautiful and delicate. And I'm using the metallic gold paper. The dies have these little holes in it that you can poke the paper out with your tool. This card is going to be a slimline card. My color palette is going to be teal, orange, gold, yellow, and red. I cut out a lot of these cute little leaves. I cut out my corner pieces with gold and orange. I end up just using the orange, however, but I cut them out twice so that I could glue them together. This just makes it a little bit more substantial. You, of course, could skip this step, but I like the little bit of dimension that this gives the piece. I'm going to attach one in the top left corner and one in the bottom right. I just love these corner pieces. There's so much you can do with them. I'm going to pop this little orange piece back inside. Start with the orange and then I add gold over it. I just wanted it to be the same height as my die cuts. I was going to layer the gold metallic corner piece behind the orange piece, but it just looked too busy, and I like to see the blue of the paper behind the blue die cuts. Now for my sentiments, I'm just using little dabs of glue. You could also cut these out several times and stack them for a more substantial sentiment, but I just thought I'd keep mine a little more flat. And now to attach these leaves. This was the fun part. I'm kind of putting them down a little bit off center so that you can see the orange paper behind the leaves. I'm not going to cover up every single leaf on the corner pieces, just a few here and there. These little leaves would make a darling shaker element for a shaker card too. I'm gluing a few of the leaves around the card panel to look like they're falling down. or blowing in the wind. And that's all I'm going to do to this card. I just loved how elegant this one turned out. Little dies are so fun to play with. I didn't attach this to a card base yet because with the slimline card bases, I guess it depends on your paper weight. I use a very heavyweight card base and I can't get it to lay flat unless I tape it down to my desk. I find it's just easier to attach it to your card panel and then attach it to your card base. So here we go. I'm going to add a little bit of dot liner on this card base. And this card is 8.5 by 3.5. So happy holiday card crafting, everyone. I will have all of these products listed in the description box below if you're interested in checking them out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.